Oh, you're a very nice man. Maybe you could be my palace slave.
Wear your jewels to bed, princess?
Here you see he entered through the doors into the forbidden room. Forbidden because they're committing adultery or fornication. You know, Hollywood is promoting. This is 1984, when it was less blatant about it. Hollywood is promoting evil, and it's using the apple and biting the apple as a symbol for celebrating evil. The apple is associated with knowledge because Adam and Eve took from the tree of knowledge, the forbidden tree of knowledge. I may have said this already, but atheists say God is anti-knowledge. The Bible's so dumb. God never said the knowledge was bad per se. He said that when you eat of it, you will die. So what's bad is that when you know that you do wrong and you do it anyway, then you're going to have guilt, and that's really bad. So to take from the forbidden fruit is to open Pandora's box. Eve is Pandora. And maybe I said this already. Please forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But there's a difference between innate knowledge and revealed knowledge, because atheists argue, how could they have known it was wrong to steal from the fruit that gave knowledge if they hadn't eaten of it already, thereby attaining knowledge of good and evil? Well, the tree, its fruit, gave innate knowledge, like instinctual knowledge, where no one has to tell you that it's wrong and you know it's wrong. Whereas God had given, prior to their eating of the forbidden fruit, God had given them revealed knowledge of good and evil. He foretold of the consequences. He told them what would happen. So before that, they were like children, young children, very young children, who didn't know between good and evil. But a very young child, you can tell them that something's wrong, then they will know it's wrong, even if they don't fully understand. So that defeats that atheist argument. I'm a teacher, and I would never have an apple on my desk. Isaac Newton, the heretic who denied the Trinity, but whose physics are cool, unlike the pseudoscience that I did a video on of so-called quantum or quandum, he's associated with the apple, which can't be a coincidence, because he was a heretic, he was anti-Christ. So supposedly the apple fell, and then he's like, oh, gravity is a thing. Of course, it wasn't that he discovered gravity. Everyone in all of mankind knew that there's a thing that we call gravity, but he gives like a mathematical explanation for it. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's got to be better than quantum as far as science and merit in science. So the apple falls, and so when he got hit by the apple, and what was he doing with where ants crawl? Like, why are you going to be there? Like Alice in Wonderland. So the apple falls, and the apple gave him knowledge indirectly, right? So he found this truth, supposedly, by the apple. By taking from the forbidden fruit, he acquired genius or something like that. Satan said, when you take from it, you'll become wise like God. But Satan lied about death when he said, you will not surely die. So he mixed the truth with lies. It's true, you will become like God in a way, because you will be smarter than animals. You will understand the consequences of actions more than animals do, for example. But can't trust the devil. Now, here's a different Masonic corporation. And you know it's Masonic because of the Masonic logo. There's a triangle, a reference to the pyramid. And the pyramids, including in Yucatan, the Mayan ones, and Indonesia, the the tall hats in Cambodia. I think China had a pyramid, and there's like a remnant of it. And there are pyramid-like structures in India. On and on. Ziggurats. These are all allusions to when mankind was united in Babylon with the Tower of Babel. So this represents the Tower of Babel. And what is the Tower of Babel about? It's the same thing that the apple is about. It's about rebellion against God. It's about, in this case, rising to heaven to steal it from God. That's Satan's wish. So tell me, most people don't know what Bissell is for. What is this company about? So 5 seconds to guess what this is about. 3, 2, 1. It's about vacuum cleaners, because nothing says sucking dirty stuff on the floor like a triangle. Now here are two possible explanations people will have to counter the explanation I'm giving of masonry, which, by the way, is superior to theirs because it takes all evidence into account, such as the evidence of Masons controlling the entire world, as I already proved in my series on the overrated British Empire, particularly in part 2. They have to ignore that evidence, so their explanations are already by default inferior. Now someone will say, potentially, I've heard this one before, it's really stupid. They say the triangle is a symbol of strength. So I told them, well, why they could have used a tiger. There are so many possibilities they could have used. Why this one? There has to be a reason for it. Now, people who throw logic out the window will say they just did it because they could or whatever. That doesn't explain why, because people choose because of reasons. It's never devoid of reason, even if the reason is bad reason. So someone else might say, oh, it's an alien abduction, because aliens abduct people like a vacuum cleaner abducts, as it were, dust or whatever. Well, in that case, where is the UFO on top? There's no UFO on top. It's just a pyramid thing or a triangle. So that doesn't make sense, and it ignores the evidence of Masons controlling all corporations, as I've already proven in the aforementioned. Another explanation would be what? Well, I don't know. You tell me. But it's nonsense, obviously. So Masonic logos like the apple for computers has nothing to do with computers, or the triangle for vacuum cleaners. It has nothing to do with vacuum cleaners. They have to do with masonry. They're Masonic symbols. And of the devil, as I have already explained. But here is elaboration. So the Bissell logo is a parallel to this one. Now, why is there one eye on top of the dollar bill's pyramid? And what do pyramids have to do with the United States? Well, because it's Masonic, and Masons have to do with the occult and the past, like the Tower of Babel, which the pyramids in Egypt, like this one represented here, are, in the case of Egyptians, they're memories of when they were in Babylon, before Egypt was a civilization. So why is there one eye on top? Which is, by the way, a match to the motif of an emphasis on one eye in Hollywood, Pisney, propaganda, and so forth. Why always this one eye? Why this exaggeration? This is all for a reason. This is not a coincidence. Everything in Disney is deliberate. The hair color, the position, the lighting, the background, everything is deliberate. There is no coincidence in this. It's all by design. Now, so why one eye? Well, the Bible says that the Antichrist shall lose an eye. There's the apple again. The Antichrist shall lose an eye, which I may have already said in a previous installment of this little series. So here is another pyramid-like structure, another reference to the Tower of Babel. And in my series on heretics, which almost no one saw, so why do I even bother sharing the truth? No one wants the truth, but I want to put more videos before I leave. In my series on heretics, I explain how so-called Christmas is satanic utterly. The apple is a match to the balls on the tree. It's the forbidden fruit symbolically. And there's usually a ribbon around the tree, not in this one I think, But there's usually a ribbon around the tree, which is serpentine, as a reference to Satan. The Bible says that fallen angels fell like stars. Stars represent fallen angels. This represents Satan. Sometimes you can have an angelic figure or a cartoonish version of an angelic figure on top. So the star and angelic figure are parallels. And then you have to put gifts at the feet of Satan, which symbolizes devil worship. So here is an excerpt from my series that no one saw. 37 views. Let's say 5 were accidental clicks, and some were repeats maybe from refreshing a page or something. So 30 views in 7 months. Wow. No one cares. Why do I even bother? But I want the truth to be out there just in case, because if I help just one person, then it would be worth it. So here you have my explanation for the rest of it. Now the star on Christmas trees represents Satan, of course. This has already been covered. On the Tower of Babel, that tree is similar to a pyramid. Mindless people lay gifts at his feet. That symbolizes devil worship. The world is being prepared for accepting his manifestation. The ribbon around the tree is serpentine, because it represents the serpent on the tree in the Garden of Eden. The balls on the tree represent the forbidden fruit. Christmas is a celebration of when mankind stole from God. Ho 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 means 666, because there are 6 letters between H and O in this language, 3 times. Santa, 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 Satan, Santa, Santa. Same thing. Satan Claus enters your home from the hellish fireplace. To be continued. Look at all this anti-Russian propaganda. By the way, you should check out this channel called, I think, the Babylon Bee, B-E-E. They make fun of liberals, even though everyone who believes in democracy is a liberal, because democracy is liberal. Here's a bit of the rest of what I was talking about. Satan Claus enters your home from the hellish fireplace, descending like a fallen angel. The Bible says it is only a thief who enters not by the front, and a bad man winks. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers, like masons with their hand gestures and stuff. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken, without remedy. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Children are taught to pray to Satan Claus, so that he will grant them their materialistic wishes, which is a parallel and match to how people are to sell their souls to Satan in order to get material wishes fulfilled. Like the Beatles, who sold their souls. So once again, more corroborative evidence for Christmas being satanic and Santa Claus being a representation of Satan. In Österreich, Krampus, Satan Claus's demonic friend, the Teufel, is still celebrated by ignorant people / fools. You can't get more obviously satanic than this. And it's pretty clear that Nicholas wasn't a saint. Now, look how disgusting this world is. Well, bye.